Hey, it's Luminous Stress, where we're always stressed out. Today I'm up in a field that we planted quite a ways back, and I'm farming the old fashioned way. We're just picking crops and replanting them, the way the Mojang probably intended it before all of the farming and fancy automated farms came out and people started rushing everything quick. And it seems like an odd thing to do, but the purpose is I've got a bunch of villagers down by the bunkhouse, and we need to get them leveled up so that we can trade for better things. Stews if we want it, but probably mostly golden carrots. So that's the focus right now. And honestly, I kind of enjoy getting out and farming the old fashioned way. It reminds me a little bit of my childhood. My parents often had a fairly large garden. I'll admit I didn't enjoy it at the time. It was a lot of work. But, now I look back on it and it's like it was a simple life. It was very hands on. It was labor intensive, but, the whole family was out doing things together. Years when one of my grandmothers had a huge spread. She lived in the middle of town and somehow had like 3 acres. I never figured that out, but she had a bunch of walnut trees and we used to husk walnuts. And I tell you what, when I was a kid, I absolutely hated that. But, as an adult, you look back on that and again, the whole family was together, extended family was together. We were all working together and those are fond memories now. So as I play Minecraft, yeah, I automate things where I can. We have a nice iron farm that's pumping out way more iron than we need and converting the poppies into bone meal. And we've got some other farms around that we've built together, and that's important. It helps us progress in the game in areas that are boring and tedious that we don't like to do a lot. And yet here I am doing the boring, tedious things I don't like to do a lot because sometimes it's great just to get back and get your hands dirty. So today we're picking crops. We're going to level up some villagers. I want to build the pillars on the front of the museum and complete the outside of that project. And then, yeah, we'll see where this day goes. I'm not really sure right now. So let's get in it. Okay, so this seemed like a really good spot to pause and just say, did I really need to build the stairs first? And yeah, the answer is yes. When we were building the main structure in the last episode, if you'll recall, I'm a klutz. I kept falling off, and then I'd have to come back up, and it was a challenge for me. So yeah, it made sense to me to go ahead and build the stairs. That's done. I got a little bit of light. And more importantly, as I come up and down to get supplies, because I always forget something, I won't have to jump off and figure out how to get back up there. Okay, I'm going to speed this part up because building pillars isn't the most exciting, but it is the finish of this project, and I'm struggled a little bit putting these stairs down. I kind of figured out by the time I got to the upper set of stairs, which you'll see in a minute, that if I put all of the end pieces on first and the corners last, it was easier to constantly turn and have none of them link up incorrectly. It's just something you kind of have to play with and figure out. But I do like the way these pillars look. They're nice and tall. I maybe could have got away with 6 on each side instead of 8, but I went with 8 and that's okay. I like this shallow sloping roof or peak up front, and I'm going to leave a slight edge here with an exposed level. And I've been trying to figure out what to put up here. And it occurred to me as I was editing the video, heads. I might put player heads up there. That might be a cool addition, or even mob heads. A nice addition to the museum. Okay, this is a good stopping point for this project. I'm really happy with where it is. I like the entrance. I think we'll have a lot of fun decorating the inside, but I'm not sure how exactly I'm going to do that yet. So it's a good spot to hit pause. We'll go work on some other things, and we'll work our way back here in another episode and continue this. I still have some little areas like that hole there to fix. And as you can see, I got it lit up, but we'll come back to it later. Okay, it's tomorrow in real life, and I am in the old covered wagon, one of the first things we built. And I've got some oak and saplings that we need to go plant, but I'm going to plant them in a very special way. I also need to turn over here and look at our grass and flowers. And we are going to get a bunch of flowers. Poppies should work. But, you know, if we want some variety, yeah, we'll do some dandelions. And we are going to go find some dirt because this is all sand. And I'm going to create an area where we can artificially get Minecraft to spawn beehives for us. And the way we do that is we, in a dirt patch, plant a bunch of flowers, plant the saplings next to the flowers, and then you can either bone meal them or wait for the tree to grow, and you will get randomly beehives. And I need a bunch because it's a homestead. I'd like to have bees. A lot of good homesteads have beehives next to their crops because they do a lot of the pollination for them. I don't personally in real life enjoy raising bees. I am highly allergic, and so I tend to try to avoid them a little bit. But when we did homestead for a big part of our lives, my wife and I and the kids, we had a neighbor who operated a huge amount of beehives, and he would always bring down every summer quite a few hives actually and set them up on our farm, and we would use that for pollination among other things. And then at the end of the year, he'd come collect them, and he'd always give us some free honey. So we got honey and we got pollination out of the deal, and he got somewhere to put his bees. But anyway, to do that in Minecraft, I need some dirt. I'm running really low, so I'm going to fly off to a couple thousand blocks to a new area, harvest some dirt, and then I will come back and we will get started somewhere. Doesn't really matter where we do it. We'll put a temporary spot up, put some flowers in, get our beehives, use Silk Touch to harvest them, and so we can place them where we want later on. And yeah, we'll go from there. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back from getting some dirt. I went from having like 22 dirt to a little over a row, plus these 3 shulker boxes are completely full, so I shouldn't need any dirt for a while. We're going to take some of this, and I think we'll use the roof up there on top of our museum, and we'll get a little farm going temporarily. But I do need to grab some of these saplings, which are up here. And we will build a little platform up here, and I'll plant some flowers, and then we'll start planting some trees and bone milling them with the hopes of getting some honey, or some beehives rather. Okay, so I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. I just wanted to show you the basic design I'm using. A bunch of flowers, oak saplings, bone meal, grow the trees. I found if you do this for an entire Minecraft day, which is about 10 minutes, you get anywhere from 1 to 4 beehives. Not super efficient. I'm sure there's better ways to get more, but this works for me. I don't need a ton. And so, yeah, good enough. Hey, so there we got our first beehive. And now the way we'll harvest this is we'll use a Silk Touch axe, but you'll notice the bees are out. If I hit that right now, they'll get angry and they'll attack me. So what we do here is we just wait for the sun to fall in the next hour or so. And when it's dark, we can safely Silk Touch that. All 3 bees will be inside and we'll get them. Okay, now that they're all 3 in, we can safely Silk Touch it. And we have our first bee's nest. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to cut this episode a little short. Off screen, I was able to get enough beehives to fill an entire shulker box, which I'm pretty happy about. And it's going to have to wait for next week. I've got business trips that's going to take a little bit of my time in real life. And unfortunately, I don't know if I'll be able to record while I'm away. You just don't ever really know how good the hotel room is going to be for that. And obviously, it's never great. But anyway, when I get back, we will take the beehives. We will make a nice little spot over there by the farm. I want to build like a little enclosed sanctuary for them where they can't escape or get away. And we will then use the beehives inside that, of course, with some flowering leaves, and they'll have a nice little safe spot, make us lots of honey that we can use for different projects throughout the property. And then I want to start working on some storage areas. I want to get out of the covered wagon over there. It served us very well. I'm very thankful to have it, but I want to use that for some other things. So I've got some more ideas. I got some projects lined up, plenty to keep us busy. But unfortunately, for today, I'm going to have to say goodbye, and we will see you next week.